Hi, my name is Sabina Latlakar. I'm a dietary intern with the American Heart Association. I'm working with the South Asian community to raise awareness for heart-healthy diets. Did you know South Asians have a higher death rate from heart disease? We have 4 times the risk compared to other ethnicities. I'm here with Dr. Rajiv Jahar, Chief of Cardiology at Northwell Health and American Heart Association board member, to talk to you about some heart-healthy nutrition tips.
Thank you for having me today. You know, it's so important to talk about heart-healthy diet and exercise and risk modification, because we do see so much heart disease among our people. For people under 40, 75% of the people are South Asian.
Even though sodium is an essential mineral, it pulls water into the bloodstream, causing your blood pressure to increase. So while you're eating achar and frozen foods, keep in mind your sodium intake.
You know, Sabina, I can't say that more. Hypertension is a silent killer.
Mm-hmm.
It is, people don't feel hypertension unless your blood pressure is really high. Then you may get some headaches or some blurry vision. But people just in general do not believe or do not feel high blood pressure. But it is the thing that will cause your arteries to stiffen, causing what's called arteriosclerosis.
Mm-hmm.
It will increase your risk of developing heart disease because it's a major risk factor. And especially among our South Asian population, you know, we put so much salt in our North Indian or South Indian food that, you know, we don't appreciate the fact that it's a lot of salt because we're so used to it. But like I tell my patients, until you feel that the food is not tasty to your liking, you probably have too much salt.
Mm-hmm. Fat is also essential to our bodies, but they're also good and bad fats as well. LDL, known as low density lipoproteins, is known as bad fats. HDL, known as high density lipoprotein, is known as good fats, also known as olive oil. Ghee is a popular ingredient in South Asian cooking, but be sure to use ghee sparingly, as increased amount can still cause coronary heart disease.
I appreciate what you just said. You know, if you look at LDL and HDL as sort of travelers. So LDL will travel to the arteries, to your heart. So LDL, or cholesterol, if you look at this is sort of an artery. And if you look at the inside of the artery and consider like the pipes in your house, if you put a lot of stuff down the sink, they will attach to the walls and cause plaque. And when these plaque ruptures or breaks up, that's what causes a heart attack. Mm-hmm. And so LDL goes to the site, and the HDL is the good cholesterol, which takes the bad cholesterol away from the arteries to the heart or the legs or the neck, and takes it back to the liver and gets rid of it. So using the proper source of food and understanding the breakdown between fats and proteins and carbohydrates is so important. South Asians have the majority of their food in fats and carbohydrates. Mm-hmm. And we know in 2022, you're the dietitian, so you're smarter than I am on this, but we know that protein intake is probably more important than fat and carbohydrate intake. And so having a diet higher in protein is very important. Now, among our South Asians, the problem we have is that a lot of them are vegetarian. So about 50% are vegetarian.
Yeah.
And I call them contaminated vegetarians, because they feel because they're vegetarian they can eat anything they want.
Healthy.
Fried foods, more carbs, the desserts. You know, whether you go in South India or North India or West or East India, they all have their unique diets. You know, North India has the samosas with you know, fried dough and potatoes. Mm-hmm. Then you go down to Gujarat and they have the doklas and other fried foods, and you go down to South India and they have the dosas, which can be really bad for you. And then you go to West India or North East India and you get the aggressive rice intakes. So it is just, and it's just very, very important that we are cognizant of our diets, because that is what we can control. You know, in life we have things that we can modify. You can't modify your genetics. You can't modify your sex or your family history, but you can modify your high blood pressure, your diabetes, your cholesterol level, your exercise tolerance, all these things, smoking. These are all very, very important. So like you mentioned, I think food plays a huge role.
I agree 100%. Remember to keep these nutrition tips in mind when you're cooking every day in your household.
Sabina, I want to really thank you for highlighting some of the major problems in our community.